There's enough research to show that family businesses are much more stable. And there are also enough research to suggest that for any comparable period, if you were to look at family business and non-family business, on most of the profitability parameters, family business tend to outperform non-family businesses. Of course, there are certain criteria where non-family businesses are ahead of family businesses. But on some of the important criteria, you find that family businesses outdo non-family business, and this is a phenomenon globally, not just in India. Why I'm saying all this is to stress this importance of family businesses, and in Indian context, of course, even some of the largest corporations in this country are in some form family managed, not only owned, even the biggest ones. There is this saying that you would have heard. Of course, a lot of things that I am going to talk, half the thunder has been taken away by Mr. M.E. Subbaiah. In his talk, he did talk about family business, he talked about governance, he talked about succession and some of those issues. So maybe I'll skip some of the things that I wanted to talk. One of the things I always heard, I have been involved with family business for the last 2 decades now. As a matter of fact, I was involved with launching the first program, a MBA program, a full-fledged MBA program for family business in this country when I was part of a business school, SP Jain Institute in Mumbai. You know, there is this saying which you would have heard that short sleeve to short sleeve in 3 generations, or different versions of this in different cultural context, including things like first generation creates, second generation sustains, the third generation destroys. I often feel that based out of my almost 20 years of exposure, not only as a teacher but also as an advisor and a consultant, this is a very unfair comment on family businesses. Because if you have to look at organized business doesn't exist for more than, the history itself is about 100 years. The kind of corporations that we know of are all phenomena of 20th century. Before that, the companies were small. So we are talking about the beginning of 20th century to see a Ford and maybe a couple of decades before Coke and Pepsi and companies like that. So the history itself is not more than 120 years. And if you have to look at the so-called professionally run companies, I'm sorry if I'm offending some people here in the audience, and you look at a list of Fortune 500 in 1950, for example, look at top 10 or top 25. Look at a list of Fortune 500, the top 10 or top 25 today. You know what will you find? The list of 1950, except a few names which may be there even today, many of those names do not exist in the top 10 or top 25. As a matter of fact, many of them do not exist, period. It's not only that they don't exist in top 10 or top 25. What does it show? And many of those companies are professionally run companies. There is a problem with sustainability of a business performance. And this problem of sustaining business performance is generic and it is common across. There's nothing special about family business. Because if we are talking about 3 generations, we are talking about something close to maybe about 60 to 75 years. And how many so-called non-family businesses have sustained their performance over a period of 60 to 75? Not many. And that's why I find this comment a little unfair on family business, as if something's particularly wrong with them. But I do find a lot of things which are good, which I'll come to quickly. Now, the topic today we are going to talk about is professionalization. Now, this professionalization has several shades of meaning to several sets of people. And even in academic literature, it is defined in several different ways. For some people, it is very simple. Get an outside CEO, you're professionalized. For some people, it's a question of separating ownership and management is professionalization. Some people take it that corporatizing is professionalization, and I make a distinction between professionalizing and corporatizing. I'll come to in a few of these things, how I differentiate between professionalizing and corporatizing.